Hello, it's Wallach95, and we're finally back with more Mario Maker. In this video, we will be playing through 2 levels that I made before actually having the recording equipment to record the creation process. This playthrough will also be done live, because any attempt I tried to do with post-commentary went way too fast. So to begin, this level was, as I said earlier, the first level I made. It was made with day 1 sets, and I spent about an hour making it and then proceeded to playtest it for 2 hours with my mother. So, at the initial beginning of the level, you can see that I set up a safe way so that you could topple the Koopa over. And then when you kick the Koopa over, you will present to a player that you can collect coins with the Koopa. It was actually surprisingly hard to balance out a good amount of coins to have there for you to collect with kicking the Koopa shell, because one of the good attributes of coins is the fact that you can use them to go the player around. However, if you add too many of them, you can get or if you're careless with the placement, rather, you can go the player into dangerous situations. Also, right here I introduced the core gimmick of the level, which is, well, enemies coming through pipes. Right here I have the coins here to go the player above the pipe, so that they will get out of the way even if they don't know that the enemies are even here. And down here I have like a fun touch, just fun personal touch that I probably should have started the level with, so that players would be introduced to the gimmick in a more safe way rather than having an enemy straight over a pit. Right there I also introduced the second biggest gimmick that I used throughout the level, which is springs. Also set up a pit down here so that you can see, well, that the mushroom can bounce off of them and that you yourself. And that lastly, right over here, that enemies can bounce off them too. Now this section you won't be able to get through unless you master the springs jumping. I feel like I had much more to say about this. After this, we come to the section of the level that the most players have died on, because Mario Maker can show you which areas players have died on the most. And it's not this jump, it's this one over here. And this kind of highlights one of the problems coins have, which I mentioned earlier. It can goad players into dangerous situations if used carelessly. So I'm assuming a lot of players just kind of rushed through here and then just got hit by a Goomba because they assumed the coins meant that it's safer. Over here, I then now actually use the idea they introduced at the beginning of levels, that you can use the shells to just collect coins. This section over here is also an area where a lot of players dies because, well, I'm assuming a lot of new players aren't used to the spring mechanic yet, which is something I myself experienced a lot while playtesting this at the beginning. Right over here, this was originally a star, but it's a bit too easy to get 1-ups when there used to be a starter, so I changed it up. Right here you have, I introduced the basic idea that, oh hey, even the big blocks, like even the big shell can break blocks as well, just taking enemies. And over here I set up a position so that the player can get 1-ups if they're not greedy. However, this does not always work. Let's see if it works this time. Ah, it worked! Usually it's the Koopa that's over here that doesn't end up getting it. Early on in the level I introduced the idea of enemies coming through pipes, but now we have them through pipes facing upwards, which introduces a bit more of a challenge than you'd originally assume. Right over here I expand on the idea, and this is the second most common area, well, third after springs, where most people have died. And then over here I combine the two ideas that I've set up for the enemies coming through pipes, one you have to use as a platform, and then 2 from above. And then just set up the coins there to set up a safe jump part. And right over here I finally decide to use something and utilize the idea of like, oh hey, you can use the big enemies to like break the wall, just in a kind of like a gimmick right there at the end. And that's the level. This is personally I think it's the second best level I made, like, personally. Even though there's some parts of it that is kind of messy, and honestly, the level actually could have done with some kind of sub-area, like one pipe you could go into, but that's like the last thing you unlock in this game, so I could really add it in the first level. The level code will be in the description if you want to play through this. Now, from there, we will move on to the second level I made. It's one of the hardest levels I made, and also one of the worst. This level was made with the idea of just using the 2 unlockables, which includes Lakitu. And the immediate idea is like, what's the most horrendous thing I can make Lakitu throw, which is, well, giant piranha plant with fire. So the basic idea for this level is to, well, have the player hide from Lakitu. Also, the coins are set kind of differently than I usually set them at. There is a reason for that, but I'll showcase that later. And and then I just got owned. Here we have kind of a dangerous jump that's supposed to reflect one jump from the 6th world in Mario 1. Right over here there's a hidden mushroom. You see how I call this one of the... You see how I called this one of the hardest levels I made? And also one of the worst? And there is one thing you can do, however, to deal with these enemies, is that you can despawn them by making them go off screen. So, that wasn't actually intentional when I made the level, it just kinda happened. And I'm kinda glad it did happen, because it would make parts of this level unbeatable. Then right here I decided to use another element that the game introduced on the second day, which is, well, the spiny shells. It gives you an option to actually fight back against Lakitu. There is a reason why you would potentially want to not use that, because at the very end there is a block with a 1-up and some coins in it, but most players will just go after the cloud anyways, and it's not like 1-ups do anything. So you might notice something about the level design, and that's that it is very flat, which was not something I specifically thought about when making it, but flat levels have a fun side effect to them. They're really easy to run through, which is where the coin placement comes in. The idea of just running through levels, flat levels, actually comes from the first level in the 4th world in the original Super Mario Brothers, where you could, which also supported Lakitu, where you can just run through the level. And I didn't do that correctly, but whatever, you can still beat the level this way, and boom, a quick and easy way to beat the level. So even though a level is flat, if you end up making a flat level, there are ways you can play around with them to actually still make it kind of exciting to play through, and that is actually one of them. Just make sure that you can run through them, because these levels also have a really fun sense of flow through them. So yeah, those were the 2 levels that I made before having recording equipment, made it on the first day that the game came out. One of them is the best level I made because of playtesting, and the second one is one of the worst because it had no playtesting and I just came up with a general idea that honestly isn't very well executed, or the general idea is well executed, but some of the touch-ups around the level isn't. So that's it for this episode. In the next episode, I will be showcasing the value of playtesting more concretely, because the actual recording of the creation of a level corrupted. So I will have something slightly different for the next video. So hope to see you there.